We have been talking about XRP for quite some time, and obviously, if you guys look at the channel, XRP is one of the most talked about altcoins on this channel. Is that for a certain reason? Yes, it is. In fact, the main reason why I talk about XRP so often on this channel is because this is one of those projects that I researched so early on in crypto. And I just came to the conclusion that, listen, this is going to be one of the biggest revolutions in history. Like, we are witnessing the birth of a completely new financial system that will power everything for the next 100 plus years. XRP was one of the first projects that I really looked into that helped me come to that conclusion. And it was because of everything around the ecosystem, everything around Ripple, everything around what they were building towards with the internet of value. Today, that is still true, but we have multiple projects that are now looking very good as well. But XRP still is that key player in my, field of view. But I also have been talking about XRP so often because it is one of the most, successful altcoins so far this cycle. And looking at this still on the weekly, and I've been, really kind of charting this as well, price action is still very solid. Obviously on the daily, we did reject at that resistance level I talked to you guys about in last night's video, right around like $2.53 or so. We have some work to do, but what could happen in the next couple days could change this chart drastically. And I'm going to be really addressing this here in a moment, but I want to go over a few things as well. So let's start off with the fact that almost everyone is flipping bullish on XRP yet again. Like I said, XRP has already performed extremely well this cycle. I mean, this thing has done numbers. Even if we're looking at just the charts in the last year, yes, it's still up 310%. This is going to change as we do get closer towards the end of this month, but, we still are up in a huge way. But everyone is flipping bullish on it yet again because of where we are at right now in this cycle, but also what we have been hearing. Over the last couple of days, it has come to my attention that we are now witnessing more and more users having money frozen on exchanges like MEXC. This is a big issue, and it's an issue that plagues the crypto space. It's at a time where these exchanges are not fully regulated. It's a big issue. This is why when I've always mentioned if you wanted to hold your crypto in custody, it could be cold storage. It doesn't matter where you are holding it. Never hold it on these exchanges. Now, I will say iTrust Capital does offer a premium custody account, which provides you institutional grade custody. This is a US-based company with live client service and support. And you can buy and sell crypto 24/7 on this platform, which is a closed loop system that is extremely secure with low fees. We could also see here that iTrust Capital does provide you with every single thing that you possibly need when you are buying, selling, or holding crypto on their platform. If you guys do want to sign up with a premium custody account today, you guys are more so welcome to do so through my link that is down in the description below. If you deposit $1,000, you get a $100 funding bonus on top of it. And with that being said, let's jump back on into the video. We have over here from Coin Bureau, we have BlackRock bullish on Ripple. During Ripple swell, BlackRock's Maxwell Steen said the market is ready for large-scale blockchain adoption. He added that Ripple's infrastructure could soon move trillions of dollars on-chain. And yeah, the infrastructure in which Ripple is creating is extremely bullish. In fact, it is basically a welcome mat for institutional players. So why wouldn't it move trillions of dollars on-chain? It has always catered to those institutional players. And also, by the way, BlackRock, in my opinion, in some way, shape, or form, they are going to be connected back to Ripple. We've been speculating on this for so long, but I just feel as if it's a perfect relationship. We have to watch what happens, obviously. But, if my speculation is correct here, we've been going all the way back to like 2023 with these connections. In my opinion, it seems as though BlackRock is ready to potentially announce some plans with Ripple, especially considering the fact that BlackRock is tied back to almost every single major player that Ripple has been really kind of working with or tapped into in just like the last couple months. But beyond that, CNBC also flipping bullish on Ripple and XRP. We have Ripple Labs is conquering crypto. Now the XRP linked firm wants to take on traditional finance. Here we have the article that was written on the 10th. Ripple Labs is conquering crypto. Now the XRP linked firm wants to take on traditional finance. Ripple Labs has become one of the world's largest cryptocurrency companies, but executives aren't stopping there. Brad Garlinghouse told CNBC. Over the past year, the firm has ramped up efforts to bridge the Web3 world and an industry that has long been viewed as its foil, traditional finance. In an interview with CNBC's Crypto World at the Ripple Soul 2025 conference in New York, Garlinghouse said that his firm aims to offer a wide range of traditional financial services built on blockchain infrastructure, capitalizing on growing institutional adoption of digital assets. A blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that logs transactions across network computers. We already know that. I want to see Ripple invest in the future and get ahead of where the market is going. This is what Garlinghouse said on Tuesday. The assets we have been buying have been on the traditional finance side, so we can bring crypto-enabled solutions to the traditional financial world. So yeah, I mean, listen, $4 billion spent on these acquisitions, all leading towards that major moments, right? That goal, if you will, of Ripple's is institutional DeFi, institutional adoption. They want to bring institutional capital onto the Ripple network. This is where we start to see potentially trillions of dollars jumping in to the XRP ledger, moving across Ripple's infrastructure. This is where we start to see the big picture form. But, you know, we are already starting to see so many big banks jumping in. Almost every single institutional player is now looking at crypto. And then, of course, we do have the big moment, right? Institutional integration. On top of building out its own services, Ripple also aims to sign deals to lend its XRP ledger technology to large institutions. Crypto pushes, according to Garlinghouse. Such partnerships could prove a boon to XRP, the native token of the XRP ledger, a decentralized blockchain aimed to service fast and low-cost transactions. The more we can build utility and really scale solutions that take advantage of XRP at the core, the more that will be uniquely good for the XRP ecosystem. And listen, I mean, XRP has done very, very well so far this year, but, you know, I see a lot more growth left in XRP this cycle. But while high-profile partnerships might push up the price of XRP, deal-making with traditional institutions is likely to remain difficult due to stalled efforts to create guardrails for cryptocurrency companies and holders in the U.S., Garlinghouse said. Hey, once that Clarity Act is passed, that's the last obstacle. But here we have from Garlinghouse, until we have that legal go-ahead, it's going to be hard. Banks are looking for and need that clarity for them to really lean in, which, hey, that's something to look forward to if you are holding XRP. But, you know, again, the fact that we are seeing this much of a spotlight put on Ripple and XRP is very bullish. Now, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, which is, of course, XRP ETFs. So recently we talked about how XRP surged about roughly 12% regarding the DTCC listing spot ETF applications for XRP. Now, this was during the government shutdown. Now, Nate Gerolchi did say on X, by the way, this is an ETF specialist, we have government shutdown ending equals spot crypto ETF floodgates opening. In the meantime, could see first 33 Act spot XRP ETF launch this week. If we are addressing XRP surging 12% on just the fact that the spot ETF listings got listed on the DTCC's platform, imagine what happens when we finally get the ETFs announced and approved. This is where we really start to speculate a little bit on what could potentially happen if we see that massive flood of all of these ETFs getting approved. We also have to remember that we just got a big update from Politico that said that the Senate reached their bipartisan deal to end the U.S. government shutdown. If the government shutdown ends this week or even next week, we can have a massive green light across the board for a ton of altcoin ETFs, including, of course, all of the XRP ETFs. Big shout out to Peter Crypto for this. We have multiple issuers remove their delaying amendment, triggering the SEC's 20-day clock if no objection, automatic approval of all of these ETFs. These are the ones that we are looking for this month, which is, of course, 21 shares, Canary Capital, Franklin Templeton, Hashdex, and Bitwise. November 27th, the 13th, the 15th, and the 19th through the 20th. We are watching all of these ETFs because the clock is now ticking. On top of that, we just got a big update because, again, if we're going back over here, this was the update on the 9th from Cointelegraph, right? These were all of the ETFs around XRP that were listed on the DTCC's platform. We got an update. Latest, 11 XRP ETF products are now appearing on the DTCC's website. Analysts say that the end of the US shutdown could open ETF floodgates for XRP. Now, they're questioning if like $5 is next. We don't really care about that. The main thing that we're focused on here is all of the ETF applications that are now listed live on the DTCC's platform. This is extremely bullish because this means that we can potentially have most of these trading live by the end of the month. It's going to be very bullish to see what happens here, but I would argue that we need to watch Canary's first because Canary already said that we could have their ETF trading live this week. And guess what we just got? We got this update. Eleanor Torres, she's posted new Canary Funds has filed its Form 8A. This is the final step before it goes effective at 5:30 p.m. ET Wednesday. Once the NASDAQ certifies the listing, when that happens, the last hurdle is cleared and the first XRP spot ETF will be set to launch Thursday at market open. Now, let's go over here. Eric Balkunas. Canary filed an 8A for XRP ETF last night, which points to launch tomorrow or Thursday. Today is holiday. And yes, it is. Thursday was the day we thought they'd be on track for, but when they did the 8A for HBAR, they launched the next day. Not done deal, but all boxes being checked. Stay tuned. So yes, if we are thinking about this, we have an HBAR ETF trading live from Canary. That happened the next day after the 8A was filed. We just got an XRP 8A form filed today, which means tomorrow we could have an XRP ETF trading live. If that happens, because again, the government shutdown is now essentially nearing the end, and we're going to reopen the government. If all of this happens this week, this could lead to one of the biggest moments around XRP and around crypto that we've seen since going back to the election. We're talking about a whole year ago. But for XRP specifically, if we see Canary Funds ETF go live tomorrow or even Thursday, every single other ETF, in my opinion, will most likely get the green light. I don't see anything holding these back. I really don't see a reason why any of these wouldn't go live. With the DTCC listing these on top of the 8A, it's kind of telling me that we will most likely get that green light within the next 48 hours. So we are locked in on this. There are so many ETFs around XRP still waiting on the sidelines at a time where almost everyone is flipping bullish yet again on XRP. This is at the same exact time that if we're looking at the price chart, especially even on a lower time frame structure, I mean, this thing is just ranging. It's consolidating. We could start to flip some key levels here, and then we could start to target some of the previous highs. And then soon we could have XRP trading at a new all-time high if everything works out. So we are watching this closely. I will keep you guys posted on any news breaking with the ETFs. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video.